Makanda, formerly known as Grahamstown, is a small town of 75,000 inhabitants in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa. It is currently the site of the largest Rotary global grant in Africa, where $400,000 is being used by the two local Rotary clubs to upgrade the toilets and kitchens at 7 local schools. This video explores how this came about and what has been achieved so far. Makanda is home to Rhodes University, one of South Africa's smallest universities, but ranked near the top in terms of academic excellence. It is home to 3 of South Africa's top private schools and has 2 outstanding government high schools. But apartheid's legacy is starkly evident in the quality of education which most of the town's, mainly black, residents receive. With the top schools all charging fees which most locals cannot afford, their children attend so-called no-fee schools in the black township, where facilities are inadequate, poorly maintained, and where, until recently, the chances of finishing school with a meaningful education were extremely limited. Some statistics illustrate this disparity. After 12 years at school, pupils in South Africa are supposed to write a national school leaving exam known as matric. Almost 100% of pupils attending the local private and top government schools will leave with a matric pass, which will allow them entrance into university. Until recently, in the township schools, more than half of pupils never even completed the expected 12 years of education. In 2013, only 49% of those who wrote the matric exam passed, fewer than 1/4 of the age cohort. Just 11% of those who wrote matric received the minimum grades required for university entrance, and only 10 township pupils gained admission to Rhodes University. In 2014, Professor Sizwe Mabizela was installed as the new principal of Rhodes University. In his inaugural address, he committed the university to ending these educational disparities. Following his call, Rhodes teamed up with Makanda's oldest non-government organization, GADRA, to put together a multi-level program of education transformation. The results have been nothing short of remarkable. Recent statistics illustrate the outcomes of the program. In the 2023 matric exams, the pass rate at Makanda's township schools was now 76%, from 49% in 2013, and 31% of students obtained the grades needed for university admission, from 11% in 2013. The successes of their peers have encouraged more students to stay at school and complete their education, so the improvement in numbers is even more impressive. The number of pupils passing matric at township schools has risen from 259 in 2013 to 485 in 2023, an increase of 87%. The number obtaining the minimum pass needed for university admission more than trebled, from 60 to 198. Makanda is today the best performing education centre in the Eastern Cape and is not too far from being the best in South Africa. A summit of all role players held at Rhodes University at the beginning of this year set the goal of being the best in South Africa by 2027. One result of this is that more than 160 local students gained admission to Rhodes University this year. Remember, it was 10 in 2014. These students are not just gaining entrance to Rhodes, they are graduating. More than 100 former pupils of township schools graduated at Rhodes University in April 2024. These improvements are life-changing. In South Africa, the chances of finding employment without matric are slim. This improves somewhat with just a matric pass. With a degree from Rhodes University, employment is almost guaranteed. How does the Rotary Global Grant fit into this picture? The Rotary Club of Grahamstown decided that within Rotary's areas of focus, it could support the programme of education transformation in 3 ways. The first was to provide water tanks and pumps to local schools where regular droughts and an incompetent local authority meant that many schools could go for up to 5 days without water. Without water, toilets couldn't be flushed, and schools were sometimes forced to shut. Secondly, decades of lack of maintenance meant that the toilets in most township schools were in a deplorable condition. Some toilet blocks were barely operable, leading to long queues. And there was little privacy, resulting in absenteeism by girls in particular. Thirdly, while the democratic government had introduced a school feeding scheme, providing for many children their only nutritious meal of the day, for most schools, meals were prepared in unhygienic facilities with no hot water for washing up. In the words of RI past President Jennifer Jones, in order to live in the kind of society you want, you have to help build it. The projected costs of meeting these needs in Makanda's schools were huge, and the resources of the local Rotary clubs small. What makes Rotary unique is that it brings together 1.4 million people in more than 130 countries dedicated to service above self. For the Rotary Club of Grahamstown, this global network was dramatically reinforced in January 2019, when Julia Heemstra from Jackson Hole in Wyoming attended our weekly lunch. Julia put the Grahamstown Club in touch with the Rotary Club of Jackson Hole, and within weeks these amazing Rotarians in Wyoming had fully funded, at a cost of $7,700, the installation of water tanks and pumps at Nombulelo Secondary School in Makanda. In 2020, this same club not only provided a large share of the funding, but also helped raise additional funds from other Rotary clubs that resulted in a $109,000 global grant to upgrade the toilets, kitchen, sewerage, and water supply at Nsika Secondary School. In 2022, the Jackson Hole Rotary Club helped fund the installation of water tanks and pumps at another 10 schools at the cost of $35,000. This was quickly followed by a $400,000 global grant, the largest grant Rotary allows, to upgrade the kitchens and toilets at 7 of these schools. These funds were raised from Rotary clubs and districts across the USA and Canada, as well as from an extraordinary number of individual donors who the Jackson Hole Rotarians approached for funds. The 7 schools were identified because of their leadership and educational success. Work started at Mary Waters Secondary School, where the identified need was the upgrading of the kitchen used to feed more than 1,000 children daily, as well as the adjacent storage room. A newly tiled floor and walls, stainless steel preparation surfaces, and washing facilities with hot water now provide a modern, hygienic cooking and serving facility. The adjacent storage system has new shelves and tiling, as well as good security. At the remaining 6 schools, both the toilets and kitchens needed upgrading. Toilet blocks were tiled, painted and refurbished, and fitted with a secure water supply. At some schools, the number of available toilets has been increased substantially by bringing previously closed ablution blocks back into service. Kitchens now have tiled walls, stainless steel preparation surfaces, and washing facilities with large basins and hot water. At all schools, staff toilet facilities also received attention where needed. This project is about more than just restoring the physical infrastructure at the 7 schools. Kitchen staff have been trained in safety and first aid. Pupils are being trained in the correct use of their facilities and their preservation for future generations of school children. School heads are sharing experiences to protect the new facilities against misuse and vandalism. The River Rescue Project is instructing pupils on how to conserve and protect local water resources and to do likewise with the resources at their schools. Critically, people are being trained in basic maintenance to ensure the facilities remain fully functional and are looked after. Rotarians are involved in this training, and all 7 schools have been partnered with one of 4 well-resourced private or government schools to assist with ongoing maintenance and staff training. To show just how life-changing this project has been, one of the 7 schools' principals recently said, "Our appreciation goes beyond gratitude. It is psychological. It shows us that our school matters and is worthy of these improvements." The Rotary clubs of Grahamstown and Grahamstown Sunset are immensely grateful to the Rotarians, clubs, Rotary districts, Rotary International, and the numerous individual donors who made these projects possible. This has enabled us to partner with other organisations, as well as the beneficiary schools and their leadership, to change the education outcomes of thousands of local children. In so doing, we are helping change their lives forever.